Okay. Well, howdy, people. Welcome to GreenFire. Today is the 26th of April, 2017, Wednesday, and hope everyone is out there keeping warm today. We have a pretty overcast day, so everybody's pretty much inside, just kind of doing what people do inside during the inside time. So sometimes we wear the mask of madness. Other times we wear the mask of joy and the mask of flowering. And so we're going to wear several masks today: the mask of joy, the mask of madness, the mask of flowering, and the mask of seeing through the muck, being able to see through this stuff and to rise to the occasion as a lotus, as a white lotus in a sea of muck. And all of us are in this together, people. So this is to you and yours, your kith and kin, your loved ones, your family, friends, those who are in the swim with you. And we're all in the swim. Just look around and see who's in there with you. Those are the people who are going to make it through this time. And don't feel alone. We're all in this. And this GreenFire, let it light the fire of this community of ire surrounding us in this cathode ray tube, or whatever we call this thing, called television. So first they started with television, and it's evolved somewhat, and those with empathic hearts of the loving kind, close encounters of the loving kind, have gone further and now call it television. So we're here to tell a vision about our lives, about our mythic imagery, our capacity to inspire, our capacity to co-create, our capacity to reclaim, our capacity to love, and our capacity to celebrate and regenerate. And all of that is within the within of the courage that lives within our heart. And so, with some courage and trepidation today, we shall step forth into the canvas. And so this is, dear friend, an invitation. Each one of us is a painting, a master painting with the gifts of the divine. And I encourage you to step inside your own canvas today and all together make a painting of what we want to celebrate. This is a time of rebirth, and we reclaim it with mirth and embrace it as a young child is embraced by his loving mother and father and sisters and brothers and all the family, grandparents and grandmothers and aunts and uncles and neighbors and friends. And may you be surrounded with all of these and more in this temple of the golden eternity of this hour. And so we're going to go right into a piece that I just wrote. And the piece just came as a form of dedication to those who are out today walking in the cold and in the rain. It's going to be, the temperature's in the 30s tonight, and there are these peace walkers that left Williamsburg Little Creek Camp walking for climate justice unity climate justice walk from Williamsburg, Iowa, and walking for 7 days from Earth Day to 22nd of April 2017 to Des Moines 7 days later, 85 miles on April 29th. And this is dedicated to those intrepid trekkers walking further for all of us. And this is dedicated so we can each do something, and this is a focus on each of us doing something, but dedicated to the walkers out there walking in this cold weather. And Anyone who's gone on a peace walk knows how precious each step is. So each step these peace walkers take is not only for themselves, but setting a mighty ripple across the land for a higher level of consciousness around climate change. And it's serious and it's real. And it's as real as survival. Not just, it's for the future generations, you know. So this is for the seventh generation and for those walkers in time. Take your broken heart and make it into art. The land is in early spring. There is a flowering. Trees are in bloom all around, purple, yellow, white, beautiful blossoms. Lilac fragrance aphrodisiacs the commons. Lilac fragrance aphrodisiacs the commons. When you look up at a tree, dear friend, when you look up at a tree, that is love. When you look up at a tree, that is love. When you look at nature and slowly soak it in, that is love. When you look around and see these flowering trees and these flowers in this spring of April showers, and you look at the yellows and the purples and the magentas and the bright whites, that is love. This is where we begin, dear friend, moving down time to a slow roll. Moving down time to a slow roll. And the peace walk slowly moves across the land. And the peace walk slowly moves across the black earth. And the peace walk slowly moves across the heart of the heartland. Through the Iowa spring, doing its dancing, doing its remembering, snake dancing and convolutions and uvulations across the land. There is a grace at this pace. There is a grace at this pace. As the peace walk slowly moves and time comes to a slow roll, there is a grace at this pace. It exudes fragrance all over the place. Exodus for Jah people. It exudes fragrance all over the place. This is love. Show me the way, great mystery. Place my feet upon this beauty way, this very day. Show me the way, great mystery. Place my feet upon this beauty way, this very day, right here, right now. Hold your head up. Hold your head up high. 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 Keep moving on and on and on and on. Press on toward the dawn. This is where we start. Right here, right now. This is where we start. Let us plant a tree in this asymmetry. Now, in this Kairos moment. Now, in this Kairos moment, we take our broken heart in this crisis, and in this crisis lay the Kyrie of opportunity. Look around. Caribou and wapiti elk begin to appear. And a black bear is loping across the land of Black Earth, Iowa, in this April Eostar time of new beginnings, rebirth, redemption. This is where we start, dear friend. Let us plant a tree. Let's plant a tree in this asymmetry. Now, in this Kairos moment, we take our broken heart. In this crisis, lay the Kyrie of opportunity. Look around. Caribou and wapiti elk begin to appear, and a black bear is loping across the land of Black Earth, Iowa. In this April Eostar time of new beginnings, rebirth, redemption, a resurrection of a broken heart, where we take this heart and begin to make art. Find your niche when there's nothing left, where we begin to mend our broken wings. These are songlines upon the land. These are songlines upon the land, sung through the symphony of the heart of the heartland, where we mend and begin to begin again, anew and renewed through the beginner's mind. We step forward boldly with courage, to reclaim our land, to reclaim our dream. In this flowering, in this upstart spring, taking the largest soul stride humanity has ever taken. Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Happy New Year! This is the land of hope. That is reclaiming our dream. So we take our broken heart and make it into art. The land is in early spring. There is a flowering. Trees are in bloom, dear friend. Trees are in bloom. All around these parts, trees are in bloom. Lilac fragrance aphrodisiacs the commons. The aphrodisiac of the lilac fragrance is all across the commons. When you look up at a tree, that is love. When you look at nature and slowly soak it in, slowly, slowly, slowly soak it in, and slowly, slowly, slowly soak it in, that is love. This is where we begin, dear friend, moving down time to a slow roll. Moving down time to a slow roll. And the peace walk slowly moves through Iowa spring, doing its dancing, doing its remembering. There is a grace at this pace. Exodus for Jah people. It exudes fragrance all over the place. This is love. Show me the way, great mystery. Show me the way. Show me the way, great mystery. Show me the way. Place my feet upon this beauty way. This very day. Right here, right now. Hold your head up. Hold your head up high. 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 Keep moving on and on and on and on. Press on toward the dawn. This is where we start. Let us plant a tree in this asymmetry. Now, in this Kairos moment, we take our broken heart. In this crisis, lay the Kyrie of opportunity. Look around. Caribou and elk begin to appear. Now, in this Kairos moment, we take our broken heart in this crisis, and in this crisis lay the Kyrie of opportunity. Look around, the caribou and elk are beginning to appear, and a black bear is loping across the land of Black Earth, Iowa, and a black bear is loping across the land of Black Earth, Iowa, and a black bear is loping across the land of Black Earth, Iowa. In this April Eostar time of new beginnings, rebirth, redemption. Ah, redemption song. A resurrection of a broken heart, where we have taken this heart and begun to make art. Find your niche where there's nothing left, where we begin to mend our broken wings. These are the song lines upon the land. The land is itself the symphony, sung through the symphony of the heart, the symphony of the heartland, where we begin again, anew and renewed through beginner's mind. And with beginner's mind, we step forward boldly with courage to reclaim our land, to reclaim our dream. In this flowering, in this upstart spring, taking the largest soul stride humanity has ever taken. Happy New Year, dear friend. May your trek going further in this upstart spring be a person-planet peace walk as well, in our heart and in your heart. And each one of us makes a ripple upon the pond, and someone feels the water every time we make a wave. Someone feels the water every time we make a wave. And in that spirit, there's another piece that was written in the last day or so. It's called Wait Till You See the Whites of Their Lives. You've got an invisible hand at work. It says patience, perseverance, breathe, sit in presence, sit in silence. Let our breath aspire. Let our breath inspire. Don't give up. Seize beauty over despair. It is only in beauty we have agency. Agency to reclaim inner courage through fortitude and generosity. All we need is love. All we need is love, which comes from the heart. Love through nonviolence, amor y rabia, love and rage. Love through nonviolence, amor y rabia. Hold on to your heart, hold on to your heart, even the people you hate most. Not for what they do, but for the Christ Spirit in them. Hold on to your heart and love even the people you hate the most, which is the most difficult. Hold on to your heart and love even the people that you hate most. Not for what they do, but for the Christ Spirit within them. For we're all connected. We're all part of the web, Indra's web. And we're interconnected at all different parts of the web. One interdependence upon another, interdependence upon another interdependence. It's a fractal, it's a Fibonacci, it's a Mandelbrot. It's all of that and more. Sit in silence. This is an invitation to a deranged Western mind is always full of dynamic and urgency. Sit in silence. Breathe. In the presence. Breathe in the presence. Breathe in love. Breathe out peace. Breathe in love. Breathe out peace. Breathe in love. Love for your fellow neighbor, love for yourself, love for your fellow human, and love for your enemy. Breathe in love, breathe out peace. Breathe in peace, breathe out love. Breathe in love, Breathe out peace. Sit in silence. Breathe. Breathe in the presence. This is the presence. Begin to see the lies just sitting in presence. There is wisdom in evasion. There is wisdom in mucking it up. There is wisdom in being taught and becoming a target out of range. There is great wisdom in being a target out of range. There is wisdom in silence. Reflection provides direction, even in the deepest muck. This country's been stuck in many a year. Yet, dear friend, through all this yet and no and muck, look again. Look again, dear friend. Look again, dear friend, in this upstart spring. There is a lotus emerging. In all this shit, there is a lotus emerging. In all this shit, in all this bloated stench and muck of stuckness and shit, rises a lotus in a sea of lies. Amor y rabia, love and rage, dear friend, sitting in equipoise. Amor y rabia, dear friend, sitting in equipoise. In all this sea of lies rises the lotus. Muck it up, cause a ruckus, become a berserker. Have dark optimism. A Zen bastard with a gnarly smile. An insight in the fissure of this edifice of lies. To your surprise, still the lotus will rise. To your surprise, to my surprise, to our surprise, still the lotus will rise. A white lotus. Wait, wait, wait. Wait till you see the whites of their lies. Seems very appropriate for this particular time, in this particular place, in this particular country. Wait till you see the whites of their lies. You've got an invisible hand at work. It says patience, perseverance, breathe. Sit in presence. Let us just sit in presence and breathe. We sit in silence. And we sit in presence. Sit in presence and breathe. Sit in silence. Listen to the birds in early morning. Listen to bird song before the light of morning. Listen to bird song light up the morning. Good morning, dear friend. Breathe in the fresh air. Sing the joy of morning through bird song and laughter. Ariel, the archangel of leprechauns, invites the elves and the gnomes to come in and play and splash in the green of this upstart spring. Let them sing in your heart. And when you hear a fairy ring, you will hear them in the chimes in the wind, and the fairy rings. sings her song into the early spring. Soak up the fairy rings, around and around, around and around the maypole coming soon. Let us dance the maypole around the fairy rings. Let us do our fertility earth birthright of Dionysius. Let us not get too crazy, but let us have the season of sacred lust. That is the aphrodisiac of the lilacs upon the commons in this season of sacred lust. And ire, all the desire of ire is in ire of irinology, and the deep desire of ire is peace. Good night, Irene. Irene is the goddess of peace. The goddess of peace is the name given to irinology, which is Irene. The study of peace is named after the goddess Irene, the goddess of peace, irinology. Let us begin true peace studies, not the United States Institute of Peace and all of that foreign bureaucratic crap. Let us have irinology, the study of peace studies in every grade school, beginning with kids really young. Let us get this into our hearts and into our minds and into our curricula. We can walk the sea of green in spring. Dancing and leaping and leapfrogging. With the mews and leprechauns and elves and gnomes and all the ondings. All the water spirits as well. The sylphs and salamanders and ondines on this sacred spring of Odin's day. Delighting us upon the way, for in the way is the way, and we are the way, the truth and the life. This is redemption song of this EO star April. And let us invite all the little ones, the wee ones, of Ariel, the great archangel Ariel, and as the archangel of the leprechauns. We are letting the leprechauns sing us our song. Begins with the wind and the fairies. And goes through the wind chimes, round and round it rings and chimes. Then it rings and rings round and yonder, hither, thither, and yon. Inside the thistles and the shamrocks, they play and they light their way. For delight is the way. That is the new human, homo ludens, playful human, fun human, delightful human. That is the way. As leprechauns are lighting our way through the wind chimes, dear friend. Through the wind chimes. Ah. Jethro Tull. And the great god Pan, singing the spring up beneath our feet, in fertility rites and ecstatic dancing, feasting and delighting. Never for a moment let anyone deny your own divinity. For Ariel, the great archangel of the leprechauns, this very day is inviting you to come out and play. Dear Prudence, won't you come out and play? Dear Prudence, won't you come out and play? This very day, for all the kids, but mostly for us adult kids, come out and play and live and sing the song of life in our heart. Oh, Ariel, the great goddess of the leprechauns, and all they were, and all the children of the realm, and all the green emerald fire of the realm they are, and all they were, and all they deserve is desire, and all they were from Guinevere, and they all came from Guinevere to delight around the round table, Galahad and Lancelot, and Merlin and the green fire of Merlin's eye, the green emerald fire of Merlin's laughter in his eye from the star Procyon, through the great archangel Sortius of the twin star system of Sirius B, in the constellation Orion, of Isis and Osiris, and Seth, and Enoch and Ezekiel, and the flaming wheels of fire, all from the heart of desire of this green fire, from the heart of the leprechauns and the wee ones and the fairies, singing the wind chime song. And in that desire, let that green fire be a kind ember that slowly has a flame that lives deep in the heart of courage that lives within our heart. And let that be our heart song. Make today a day of play. Even if it's hard work, make it the leaping play of dolphins, with loving kindness, surprise, and curiosity of the magical child at play. Make your fairy mind your playground of loving kindness. Your fairy mind is called the Märchen, the Munchkin mind. Play inside this playground for a golden eternity of this hour of green fire, dear friend. Watch eidetic shift into infinity hourglass. Live inside this astrolabe for the golden eternity of this hour of green fire. Living in this hammock across the omniverse, singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Row, row, row your boat gently, 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 gently down the stream. Attach this fixity to your favorite stars. Do your role reversal, your soul retrieval. Wash our spirits clean. This is redemption song. We are at new beginning. This is the magicalized morning. This is the magicalized morning, dear friend. We are in evergreen of the soul. We have marched into the fairyland mind. Merry Christmas tree every day here. Mary B., dear friend, won't you stay a while with an illegal smile here inside the mansion of the fairyland mind? And in walking into Martian mind, Merry Christmas of the deep in your castle keep, dear friend, singing Mary B. Hey, you walking off Schizophrenic Avenue, step in here. You say you have a dream. Well, it's about time. Elven King time, Dolphin Dream time. Dear friend, activate your bicoastal Dolphin Dream time mind. It's time to bilocate. Our joy of the journey. It's time for activation of our template here at the temple gate of our inner love light. It's time to travel afar in the star that you are, the EO star of this upstart spring. Let us erase personal memory. Choose the path with the heart. Let us practice loving kindness to the least of these. To the least of these, dear friend. To the least of these. Let us practice loving kindness through compassion of standing under. Through the compassion of standing under in decisions, and how will this affect the seventh generation yet to come? Does this path have a heart? That's the only question we want to ask, dear friend, especially in terms of loving kindness to the least of these, our sisters and brothers. Asking this one only question for the seventh generation yet to come. Does this path have a heart? Take the seventh cavalry out of our thought process. Let us take the seventh cavalry out of our thought process, out of our attitude, or out of our cultural DNA, and let us decolonize the seventh cavalry from our mind. Let us decolonize the seventh cavalry and the conquest and the seventh cavalry and the Inquisition from our mind, and the Holocaust. Let us make today a day of play. Even if it's hard work, let us make today a day of play. Let us make it leaping play of the dolphins, the leaping play of the frogs, with loving kindness, surprise, and curiosity, knee deep, knee deep, knee deep, of the magical child at play upon the frog pond and the tadpoles. Make your fairy mind your playground of loving kindness. Your fairy mind is called Martian, Munchkin mind. Play inside this playground for an hour, dear friend. Watch the eidetic shift into the infinity hourglass. Live inside this astrolabe of love, dear friend. Rumi did it for 30 seconds, and he became a slave for life. Let us live inside this astrolabe of love, dear friend, for the golden eternity of this GreenFire hour, living in this hammock across the omniverse, swinging and singing, twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder where you are, up above the sky so bright, like a diamond in the sky. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. When we row, row, row our boat, let's make sure it's gently down the stream, gently, 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 down the stream. Life is but a dream. Attach this fixity to your favorite stars. Do your soul reversal and your role reversal and your soul retrieval. Let's do our soul retrieval and reclaim all dispersed energy from times past. washing our spirits clean. This is redemption song. We're at new beginning here. This is the upstart spring, the magicalized morning. Dear friend, you are in the evergreen of soul. You have marched into fairyland mind as a munchkin. Merry Christmas tree every day here, Mary B. Dear friend, won't you stay a while here with an illegal smile? Mary B., so mote it be. Wait till you see the whites of their lives. You've got an invisible hand at work here. It says patience, perseverance, breathe. Sit in presence. Sit in silence. Let our breath aspire. Let our breath inspire. Don't give up. Seize beauty over despair. It is only in beauty we have agency. And dear friend, we all have agency. Agency to reclaim inner courage through fortitude and generosity. All we need is love, which comes from the heart. Love through nonviolence, amor y rabia, love and rage. Hold on to your heart, even in the presence of the people that you hate the most. Love them for being human, not for what they do, but for the inner spirit within. Sit in silence, breathe in presence. Breathe in love, breathe out peace. Breathe in peace, breathe out love. Breathe in love, breathe out peace. Breathe in peace, breathe out love. Begin to see the lies just sitting in presence. So here we are. We're sitting in presence and we breathe deep. And what we begin in this reflection is we step away. We climb inside ourselves and let the world take care of itself. And sitting in this presence, breathing in love, breathing out peace, we begin to see the lies. There is wisdom in evasion. There is wisdom in mucking it up. There is wisdom in being a target out of range. There is wisdom in silence. There is wisdom in being a target out of range. There is wisdom in silence. Reflection provides direction, even in the deepest muck. This country's been stuck in many a year. This whole planet has been stuck in many a year. Yet, dear friend, through all this yet, look again. There is a lotus emerging. In all this shit, in all this bloated stench and muck of stuckness and shit, rises a lotus in a sea of lies. Amor y rabia, dear friend, sitting in equipoise. Amor y rabia, dear friend, sitting in equipoise. In all this sea of lies rises the lotus. Muck it up, cause a ruckus, become a berserker, a Zen bastard with a gnarly smile, an insight into the fissure of this edifice of lies. To your surprise and to our surprise, still the lotus will rise, a white lotus. Wait. Yet, dear friend, through all of this, even in the deepest muck that this country's been stuck in many a year, in all of this slime, yet, dear friend, through all this, and yet, look again, dear friend. There is a lotus emerging in all this shit, in all this bloated stench and muck of stuckness and shit. rises a lotus in a sea of lies. And the definition of hell, dear friend, is the muck of stuckness. And we see through that gumption trap and restore and maintain and reclaim our gumption. Here, in all this bloated stench and shit and muck of stuckness, we're doing maintenance of the Holy One and keeping our gumption and seeing through all these the whites of the lies of the gumption traps. These are all gumption traps. And in all this bloated stench and muck of stuckness and gumption traps and shit rises a lotus in the sea of lies. Amore rabia, dear friend, love and rage, love and outrage, love and outrage, love and outrage. Dear friend, sitting in equipoise, in all this sea of lies, rises the lotus. Muck it up, cause a ruckus, become a berserker, a Zen bastard with a gnarly smile, and an insight into the fissure of this edifice of lies. To your surprise, to our surprise, still the lotus will rise, a white lotus. Wait, 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 till you see the whites of their lies. Aho. So that is piece totally appropriate for the times of this day and the golden eternity of this hour. The joy of the journey is profound and it's deep. To sin by silence when we should protest makes cowards out of men. The human race has climbed on protest. Had no voice been raised against injustice, ignorance, and lust, the Inquisition would yet serve the law, and guillotines decide our least disputes. The few who dare must speak and speak again, like these peace walkers out here walking toward Des Moines, and all the peace walkers across this country and across this planet. The few who dare must speak and speak again. No vested power in this of great day and land can gag or throttle. To right the wrongs many, speech, thank God. To right the wrongs many, speech, thank God. No vested power in this of great day and land can gag or throttle. Free speech. Free speech. Free speech. Look up Mario Savio and the student free speech movement at Berkeley, 1964. Mario Savio, S-A-V-I-O, free speech movement, student movement, Berkeley, 1964. Free speech. No vested power can gag or throttle. Press and voice may cry loud disapproval of existing ills. Press and voice may cry loud disapproval of existing ills, may criticize oppression and condemn the lawlessness of wealth-protecting laws. Criticize the oppression and condemn the lawlessness of wealth-protecting lies and wealth-protecting laws that let the children and the childbearers toil while the Pentagon masters of war picks at the trough generals, lard it up with the billions stolen from the poor, and let the children and childbearers toil to purchase ease for the idle millionaires and the idle billionaires populating the White House and this particular regime. Therefore, I do protest against the boast of independence in this mighty land. Call no chain strong which holds one rusted link. Call no land free that holds one fettered slave. Until the manacled slim wrists of babes are loose to toss in childish sport and glee, until the mother bears no burden, save the precious one beneath her heart, until God's soil is rescued from the clutch of greed, of the greedy billionaires in the White House and in Washington and New York and anywhere else. do protest. Amor y rabia, love and rage. And then, for epicycle, there was a Madrone girl. She was Yurok. She lived on a forested hillside high above the Whitemas in Northern California. From there, she could see down through the trees to the Klamath River far below. Her lover, North Wind, lived far away on the ocean coast near Crescent City. Once a year, he came whirling upriver and stopped off and made love to Madrone girl, and all year she waited for him. But this year he did not come. Madrone girl waited. She worried. Did he have another girlfriend? She went to her grandmother. The old lady wanted to help. She offered to teach her a song. I know a song so powerful that when he hears it, he will come. After you have learned it, go to the top of the hill and sing your song. The next morning, Madrone girl shouldered her carrying basket and climbed high above the village. She placed her basket down and started to sing. She sang the song a second time, then waited. But her singing was gloomy. It sounded like crying, like tears flowing. The leaves didn't stir. The air remained hot and still. The dust continued to lie thick on the pepperwood and the chinapkin trees. When she arrived back home, Madrone girl told grandmother that North Wind had not come. Grandmother looked at her granddaughter up and down. The girl's garments were old. They were curled at the edges and so tired. Her face was streaked with dust and so sad. Little wonder North Wind didn't come, said grandmother. Look at yourself. Go bathe in the river. Comb out your hair. And when you sing, stand straight and throw your head back. Sing as if you are expecting him. Then he will hear you, and he will come. Now go and try again. So Madrone girl dove into the cold river. Back on shore, she took her towel from her wrist and scraped her body until it was dry. She rubbed herself with sweet-smelling powder. She combed out her long black hair until it glistened. She put on her same old clothes and climbed back up the steep hillside. But when she peered down at her gray and tattered garments, she shook her head in disgust. Finally, she peeled off all the tattered old bark and came out in those molded limbs which are red and nude and sensuous. Finally, she peeled off all the tattered old bark and came out in those molded limbs which are red and nude and sensuous. This time her song rang out through all the hot, still trees. Rich and clear, it sounded like the mockingbird's song at midnight. She glowed with joy. Suddenly, the branches of the nearby trees moved. Their leaves quivered. North Wind had come. Every year thereafter, when it came time for North Wind to whirl up the river canyon, Madrone girl prepared herself. She peeled off her old bark and came out in her clean red limbs. Later, she discovered that North Wind did indeed have another girlfriend that year, Chinapquin, who lived upriver near Orleans. So Madrone girl walked all the way upriver to Orleans and pulled out Nut Tree Girl's long hair, and in its place she left only sticky spines. This is why to this day no man loves Chinquapin or wants to touch her. Well, the mask, that's a mask of the lovers. And that's in that erotic spirit. When I think of you, Fireflies in the marsh rise like the soul's jewels, lost to eternal longing, abandoning my body. Pillowed on your thighs in a dream garden, little flower with its perfume stamen, singing, sipping from the stream of you. Sunset, moonlight, our song continues. And there lay the lovers, lip-locked, delirious, infinitely thirsting, each wanting to go completely inside the other. Then this song of the upstart spring, of the fertility rites of Eros and Aphrodite and Cupid and Psyche. And there lay the lovers, lip-locked, delirious, infinitely thirsting, each wanting to go completely inside the other, each filled to bursting with their love. Like Achilles lying with Lycomedes, her tunic pulled above her knees, they grope and they fondle, lips devouring lips, twisting like vines, and she who is mine trundles off to bed thrice blessed, thrice Hermes Trismegistes, divine Pymander of the golden emerald of Merlin. She is mine in secret only. We burn in separate beds. And in that sense comes the boat of stars. Spring after spring, I sat before my mirror. Now I tire of braiding plum buds. I've gone another year without you, shuddering with each letter. Since you've gone, even wine has lost its flavor. I wept until it was autumn. I wept and walked the Via Dolorosa. I wept along the river for hours and days and weeks and months and years. I wept along the river, and I wept until it was autumn, my thoughts going south beside you. Even the gates of heaven are nearer to me now than you. A Chinook song goes, this is dedicated to Franz Boas. I won't care if you desert me. There are many pretty girls in town. Soon I'll have another one. It's easy to find another one. And the great storyteller of the Northwest in a couple programs before was incorrectly identified. His real name is Ed Edmo, the great storyteller who talked about when people were 200 feet tall in the creation myth before this one. In the world before this one was when humans were 200 feet tall in the great Cascadian redwood forests. Don't block my way, friend. I'm joining the sadhus. The Dark One's image sits in my heart. Now nothing gives solace. Oh, the citizens sleep, their world groggy with ignorance. But I hold vigils all night. Who understands these dark passions? Wet with Shyam's love, how could I sleep? When it rains, does anyone drink from the gutter? When it rains, does anyone drink from the gutter? Mira says, friend, take this lost child. At midnight she goes out half mad to slake her thirst at his fountain. And Mirabai sings the soul of this song forever, and may it sing in your heart as well, dear friend. And have a beautiful, beautiful day and week as a time to come. Peace.